All right, what's going on, everybody? We're here for another night of Dana White's Contender series. If this isn't your first time joining me, you know these are always a good night of fights. If it is your first time, either with me or with the Dana White Contender series or both, one, welcome, appreciate the support, and two, it's very rare that we have a Dana White Contender series that doesn't entertain. Usually, you're looking at 3 to 4 finishes, and whatever is not a finish is typically a war. Right now, the card's just starting. They're just going through the whole thing where they talk about some of the up and coming fighters that are going to be on the card. Unless you're a follower of regional MMA, you're not going to know most of the faces on this card. So they do a pretty good job telling the backstories of the fighters pretty well, just to try to give you that little bit of attachment going into the fight. As much as we say we don't want it, we want that shit. We love it. Don't lie. Just making sure that we are on everywhere. Again, if this is your first time with me, welcome. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any other upcoming streams and original content. I have a lot of stuff coming soon for you guys. I'm excited. If you're here, and I've been here since the first week we started a few months ago, you know, we've come a long way since. It's still a long way to go. Only going to get better every week. And again, appreciate everybody for joining me. Looks like we're starting at bantamweight. Joseph versus Perrin. I tell you what, Joseph looks pretty good, pretty big for a bantamweight. Bantamweight already one of the most exciting divisions in the UFC. Between welterweight, lightweight, and bantamweight, man, those are the three best, or I should say, most exciting, in my opinion, and definitely the most stacked divisions in the UFC. If you go down, which we have many times already, and we will more in the future, if you go down that list of either 170 pounders, 155ers, or 135, mostly killers, mostly not only killers but recognizable killers, which makes it even more exciting. And then there's always up and comers coming from other promotions or people that have been around the UFC and just have hit that next level. I do like the stories that they tell, but I would like them to speed it up too. We came here to watch some fights. Guys, we are also going to touch on the Robbie Lawler Kobe Covington card from just this past Saturday. It was a pretty good card. I think only 2 or 3 fights on the whole damn card went to decision. Really nice. And I changed the pace from that last card. You see Joseph talking about the new uptick in African-born UFC fighters and MMA fighters in general. The sport's very young, very new. You're going to keep seeing other countries, continents, regions, etc. Uh, boom eventually in MMA. The sport is super young compared to anything else. Really impressive to be where it is after only 25 years. We forget like baseball, basketball, football, either a century or older, all of them, and boxing. And for UFC to even be in that conversation with those sports is impressive. Really been cool to see the sport be born and grow and become a major player all in one lifespan. Been a fan of UFC since UFC 1. My mom had the cassette. Like, what the hell is this? Eating that shit up. Loved it. Nice win streak for Jason Perrin on a five-fight win streak. Mixes it up too. Two knockouts, three submissions. Local promotion champion. For anybody that's like, oh, well, it's a local promotion. To be a champion, period, man, you have to usually work your way up or at least defend. It's a lot of good experience for a young fighter. 6 fight win streak for Joseph. Definitely a short fighter at 5'6", as Cruz just mentioned. Oh, trains with Uriah. If you guys have joined me in previous weeks, always cool to see young fighters representing big camps. Just adds another layer to that they have to overcome and either impress with a win or fall under that pressure with a loss. Also well rounded, 3 subs, 3 KOs out of his 9 victories. All right, here we go, guys. I mean, Joseph being small doesn't really matter when Perrin's only 5'7". Same reach. But Joseph definitely looks like the bigger fighter, even though he's given up an inch in height. Nice leg kicks from Joseph. Here we go, round one. The first fight, Dana White Contender Series. Nice takedown from Perrin. Catches a kick. Gets a takedown off that. Perrin working in the guard. Joseph with the open guard. Always yelling when I see somebody with a closed guard because you're not doing anything from there, typically. Joseph with his feet against Perrin's hips, able to kick him off, create space and get up. Instantly goes for a takedown of his own. Perrin defends it well against the cage. Want to see how Joseph uses his position. Is he going to strike from here? Is he going to reshoot, re-wrestle? Looks like Perrin might have the strength advantage in the grappling. Both guys with good skill, but Joseph definitely looks to be the stronger guy. Ooh, nice left from Joseph. And then goes the clinch. Nice leg kick from Joseph. Joseph content on shooting for those shots instead of trying to mix it up on the feet. Head kick attempt from Joseph. Joseph misses. Perrin definitely fighting longer than Joseph is. See Perrin stance switching. Got to be careful of that. Don't fall in love with it. Your offense might be fine, but very few people have good defense switching stances regularly. Max Holloway being one of those guys, if not the best at that. TJ's good at it too. I lied. TJ Dillashaw is very good at it. Both guys you barely see them even make the movement to switch stances. Next thing you know, that cross is a jab. Joseph just trying to load up or go for takedowns. Goes for a takedown again. As I say that. Hits that one though. Really good. Able to scoop him up. Now trying to go for the back, Joseph is. He was too high though. Almost fell off. Perrin just trying to use that cage to keep Joseph from spinning around to the back. Joseph needs to pull Perrin down and forward. It's too late. Perrin has the underhook. Able to get out. Nice jab from Perrin. Joseph tries to make him pay for it. Unable to though. Misses. Big. Both guys land pretty nicely. Perrin faking the flying knee. Flying knee attempt from Joseph. Mostly blocked. Spinning back heel kick attempt from Joseph. Might have just been a waste of energy. Missed wide. Perrin's like, bro, this is my corner. That is hilarious. Yeah, that was a really good takedown from Joseph. After this fight, we are going to talk about the first fight on the main card of Kobe Covington, Robbie Lawler, UFC on ESPN 5. which again, really good card. I enjoyed it. Saw Mickey Gall get back in the win corner as well. That was cool. Antonia Shevchenko got her first UFC win. A lot of feints for both guys. Oh, nice cross from Joseph. Landed nice. Left hook just misses from Joseph. Oh, that right hook lands though. Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, nice kick to the body from Joseph. Another kick to the body. Perrin catches that one though. Takes him down again. That's the second takedown he got off catching a kick. Oh, guillotine attempt from Joseph, and for some reason Perrin jumps back into Joseph's guard, and that is deep. That was a mistake. Perrin's out, I think. No, no, he's not. Herb Dean paying attention. That's really deep though. Can he pop his head out? Wow. Perrin's so tough, man, surviving this. Holy shit. Now Joseph needs to be careful he doesn't blow his arms out. I think Perrin's safe at this point. Yo, what's going on? Yeah, I think Joseph might as well just let go of this at this point. Let him bang, bro. What's going on? Yeah, Joseph lets go to avoid blowing his arms out on that. But he's already had to use a lot of energy on that choke. It was close, I think. Uh, as Cruz was saying, he just didn't position it correctly. And Perrin figured out he was safe and didn't have to exhaust much energy to get out of it. Just waiting for Joseph to let go. See if Perrin passes this guard. Joseph, to start the fight, had an open guard, was able to kick Perrin off by putting his feet on his hips early, and then when but now that he gassed himself out off of that submission attempt, you see he has a closed guard mostly, not trying to get up. He's trying to crawl up to the fence now, but he's really tired, man. Mouth wide open, gasping for air. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. Knee misses from Perrin. That's good on Joseph crawling up the cage. Oh, needed a body. Ooh, nice punch from Joseph. The Robbie Kobe fight, we are definitely going to talk about that tonight real quick. I thought, despite what anyone says about Kobe Covington, he dominated Robbie Lawler. Um, like I've never seen Robbie Lawler get dominated without some type of injury, like the RDA fight. Kobe kept an insane pace. I think he set a record for most strikes thrown, having over 500 strikes thrown. Never stopped throwing. Never stopped at least making Robbie think about the takedown. For the first two rounds, took him down at will. Got a little tired, but not enough to slow him down significantly on the feet. Kobe Covington has a crazy cardio and put it all on Robbie Lawler. I had Lawler winning. I wanted Lawler to win as a fan. Was nuts. I never imagined that fight going like that. And again, we're going to talk about that more, but really didn't think that was going to go down like that at all. Knee from Perrin just misses. Oh, nice left from Joseph. Both guys are tired. It's gonna be really curious to see who has the bigger gas tank coming into this third round. Both guys just exhausted a lot of energy. Who wins Kobe versus Usman? Kobe versus Usman to me is they're like the same fighter. It's crazy. They both beat people the same way. Um, I have no idea. If you guys watched my prediction video, you saw when I called Clay Guida versus Jim Miller. I said both of their grappling is going to cancel each other out, so they're going to get into a striking war. They did for about 30 seconds. I think this is going to be similar. Obviously, they're way different echelon of fighters, but Kobe and Usman are such the same fighter that they're going to wind up in the middle of the octagon and punch each other in the face. That's the only way I see it going, unless one of them is really just that much better at grinding and pushing against the cage and getting that takedown against the cage and just smothering. I can't see one of them imposing that type of will on the other. So I honestly think they just go at it in the middle of the octagon, and I have no idea who's going to win. If you put a gun in my head, I'll say Usman. But I really don't fucking know. After that fight, maybe Kobe. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that one a little closer. We're in the third round, guys, of the first fight of Dana White Contender Series. Joseph versus Perrin, fighting in bantamweight. Really close fight so far, but I do think Perrin did enough to win both of those rounds. Really good takedown from Perrin. Perrin definitely won the first round. And I'm comfortable with saying he did enough in the second round as well. Joseph, when he throws some powerful strikes, but he does it in spurts. Perrin's been pretty active throughout. Yeah, Usman has a good gas tank too. Kobe's definitely a dog in that octagon. Uh, like I said, regardless whether you like him, whether you hate him in the octagon, which is all I'm talking about right now. Wow, that was fucking nuts. That was fucking impressive. You have to be impressed with what Kobe Covington did to Robbie Lawler. You hear Cruz talking about it. If you don't show that you were trying to finish this fight until the last second, you're not getting a contract even if you win. Both of these guys have to keep this pace up, or else you just wasted a trip. Joseph with Perrin against the cage. I think he needs to just be throwing right now. He needs to separate and throw. I'm almost positive that he needs a finish for the win. Now he's just stuck in a 50-50 position against the cage. And Perrin not letting him off easy. You saw Joseph try to circle out lazily, not with his hands up. Ate a couple for it. Gets back in clinch positions. Perrin is able to work the takedown. Right in the side control. Which is all good for Perrin if all he did is come here to win. He needs to be trying to either advance to a mount, or there he goes, taking the back of Joseph. And he needs to be throwing submissions. He needs to be throwing strikes. You have to show Dana White that you are still trying to finish this fight. That's all he cares about on this show. He said it. You don't have to finish, but you have to try. Not that Perrin's not doing anything. He's fighting a great fight. Oh, and Joseph's able just to roll right into top position. He's in Perrin's full guard. Perrin with the open guard, trying to find ways to get out. He kicks Joseph's hips off him. That's exactly how you do it, man. Nice knee from Joseph. Nice knee body shot from Joseph. Here we go. We have about a minute left, guys. They cannot take their foot off the pedal. I think Perrin's winning, but right now he's backing up. That's not what Dana wants to see. He doesn't want to see you cruise to a decision victory on the show. That's not what he's here for. Nice exchange from both men. Yeah, Cruz just saying it. You're shooting for a takedown last 30 seconds for what? I really would like to hear the conversation that young fighters are having with their coaches when they're getting calls to come to Dana White Contender Series. I feel like that needs to be a long, thought out discussion between your team and yourself. Because both of these fighters are good, man. They're talented. Um, this was a good fight. I enjoyed this fight. I don't think either one of these guys, despite who wins, gets a contract tonight. But of course, we've been wrong before. So we'll see what Dana White has to say at the end. Oh, you were there live? That's dope, man. That's it was in Jersey. I live in Jersey. I'm about an hour away from that fight. I'm glad you got to enjoy it. Surprised that you said it wasn't exciting there. That's my fear too of going to see the fight live and it not be just I don't know the experience I would want it to be. But I figured the crowd was going to be into it with all the Kobe hate. Was expecting a lot more chance, definitely a lot more hate on him. Kobe's definitely gotten better. Definitely gotten better. Here we go with the decision. What? What? Dwight Joseph wins 29-28. His opponent goes straight to Dana White and says, "Bro, I won that." Dana says, "I know. What do you want me to do?" Oh man, that was a really good fight, guys. But I don't like I said, round two was closer than round one. Maybe you can give it to Joseph, but I can't agree. That's someone texting me about how outraged they are about that decision. So I can't agree with that decision. But congratulations to Dwight Joseph. He's not going to get a contract tonight. Yeah, since this Lawler Kobe fight, it definitely has me looking a lot closer at what a Kobe Usman fight would look like because I just didn't know uh, that Kobe Covington had that in him. There's no other way to say it. He just really shocked and surprised me of his performance. So yeah, I don't know. I have to look at a bunch of shit before I make any picks on that Kobe Usman fight. Luckily, we have a while. I don't think it's going to happen any sooner than November at Madison Square Garden, but it could also happen in December for like that New Year's card. We'll see. Yeah, Kobe's not a bad pick. That's why I'm kind of like hesitant to even keep saying, "Oh yeah," if I say now it's Usman. That cardio. What is anybody going to do with that? What can you do with someone who's not easy to knock out, good wrestling, and literally is throwing for 5 fucking rounds nonstop in your face. Whether they're hard or not, you're getting hit by a grown ass man in your fucking face for 25 minutes or getting slammed by that grown ass man to then get punched in the face by him. Whoo. I think a lot of people in the UFC in that division, of course, they'll never admit it. They're fighters. They're all warriors. No one's afraid of anybody. But I think a lot of people who were talking shit about Kobe and saying they wanted to fight Kobe saw that fight and was like, ooh, maybe I could fight him later. Maybe not. Maybe not right now. Maybe he fights somebody else. I fight somebody else, and me and Kobe see each other. So see each other around the corner. Cause that man, like, no one's afraid. I'm not saying anybody in the welterweight division is afraid of Kobe, but you got to see that what just happened to Robbie Lawler and think, I'm not exactly sure what I would do differently about that. You could say, yeah, Robbie should have thrown more. He should have. Again, we're going to talk about it a little bit more in depth later. He should have thrown more. But at the same time, it's easier said than done. He saw that cardio, that pace that was being put out and was like, I can't gas out. Yeah, I can throw a couple good combos, but then if I use all my energy doing that, what am I going to do in the 5th round against this cardio if he keeps it up with me totally gassed? I'm going to get finished. I get it. I think he was playing to try to come on strong in the 4th and 5th round, thinking maybe Kobe couldn't keep that pace up, and Kobe did. He just kept punching him in his face the whole fucking fight. It was crazy. Yeah, definitely. Greedy is going to be the theme of that fight 100%. Him and Usman had that same style. That's the type of fight they want. What you saw Kobe Covington do against Robbie Lawler is the best case scenario for a Kobe Covington or Kamaru Usman, or sometimes a Tyron Woodley, depending on what style he's coming out in. Uh, but especially Kobe and Usman, just their frames are a bit larger in stature. Um, it couldn't have gone any better for Kobe. That's about the best way he could have pictured that going, other than finishing the fight, which he was trying to do. I don't think Kobe can hold Usman down, and I don't think Usman can hold Kobe down. Honestly, I think they both just wind up each maybe getting takedowns, the other guy popping right back up, and them just punch each other in the face the whole time. Let them bang and we'll find out. Preach, bro. Preach. Just let them bang, bro. Tracy Cortez from last week of Dana White Contender Series. Yes, I did. Instantly gave her an Instagram follow. If you haven't, what are you doing? But on the real, she was an exciting, scrappy fighter. I liked her style. I liked her execution. Her backstory, really dope. She has that tattoo of her brother on her arm, him wearing a UFC shirt because that was his dream. And she wound up being the one that achieved it. Really cool. She's well deserved. If you haven't heard her story, go look it up. Tracy Cortez. I don't remember her Instagram tag, or I would definitely plug it for her. But all you gotta do is go to Instagram, search Tracy Cortez. She's a good follow, cool personality, beautiful young lady, and a hell of a fighter. Can't wait to see her in the UFC. And if she can scrap like that on the highest level in the UFC and get a couple wins, I mean, she has she's a home run marketing wise. Home fucking run. She checks all the boxes. Really, really excited to see that. I'm not nobody get ahead of themselves. I'm not saying Tracy Cortez gets a title shot. I'm saying it's going to be exciting to see her come into the UFC. Thank you for bringing her up. That was cool. Yeah, Dana White Contender Series has come a long time since season one. Season one, not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a fight fan. I tried to watch that and I just couldn't get with it. The production was always pretty good. It just wasn't enough to get excited about and just take a random Tuesday night and watch some okay fights. It was usually a bunch of people that weren't ready for the UFC. And you saw it because most of the time he gave one or two contracts. This season, he's giving out 4 contracts, 5 contracts, 3 contracts, 5 contracts again, 4 again. It's ridiculous, and it's always well deserving. Even some of these people without that aren't getting signed contracts are deserving. and you see them get picked right up from a Bellator or a PFL or anything like that, yes, elite is a great word for Dana White Contender Series as it stands now compared to what it started. It's come so far. I'm loving this shit, man. What better do I have to do on a Tuesday than watch five usually great fucking fights? I expected more from Robbie. Yeah, I mean, I expect to see that um, for a while. I expected more from Robbie. I picked Robbie to win by KO in the second round, and we saw how that went. I don't know if that was Robbie's plan to purposely take this fight into the fourth or fifth round, or if at some point he said, "Hey, this kid is keeping up a really high pace. Let me see if he can do it. Let me test his will." He obviously lost that bet either way, but I would be very curious to see if that was his game plan or if that's just something he switched to for some reason. He, even if he was trying to conserve his gas tank, which that's what I think he did, I regardless of the reason, I'm not sure of his reason, but in the first round, he made a choice like midway through almost that I'm going to turn it down a tad bit. He came out, looked like he had guns blazing, looked like he was ready to throw those patented hooks and try to hurt Kobe. After he got taken down and got back up, it seemed like he was just like, okay, I'm going to need energy to keep getting up from these takedowns. I think he felt that he 100% was going to get taken down many other times other than just that one time. But I don't know. At some point, you think, man, just go for broke. You're losing the fight. He's keeping a crazy pace. Okay, he's proven he can keep it. Just start throwing. But I think by the time he got to that point mentally where he's like, oh, it's midway through fourth round, I'm not going to get this kid tired. I don't think he had anything else left. I think he got worn out from getting up so many times. It's like a chess match. As Thiago Santos comes out cornering one of the fighters in Dana White Contender Series in crutches, him just coming off two knee surgeries. Really cool to see him supporting his teammate. But yeah, I think by the time Robbie came to the consensus that my best bet is just trying to finish this, and if I get finished, fuck it, I'm just going for it. I don't think he had it left in him. I think he didn't have that gear to go anymore. I think he used all his energy trying to keep Kobe off of him. And you saw, I hope everybody appreciates how much energy he's exhausting. All that head movement, those bobbing and weaving that he referred to. I don't think that was the right choice. Of course, that's in hindsight. Who am I to tell Robbie Lawler what's the right choice, right? But we are here for a reason, and that's to talk MMA. He was bobbing and weaving the whole time, so Kobe Covington was literally poking that jabs, hooks, uppercuts, everything out at him nonstop at a nonstop clip. Just boom, 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 not stopping at all. And Robbie's counter to that most of the fight was move, 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 move. That's fucking tiring. That's tiring as shit. And I'm not sure if Kobe Covington, did that on purpose, knowing that he would. I mean, there's no way to really know he would do that. But really, just him keeping the pace, Robbie's reaction to that type of pace wound up zapping all his energy. And by the time he realized that Kobe wasn't going to stop, which I thought he would slow down by fourth round, it just never happened. It was too late. He had used too much energy. When Kobe Covington made that joke about Matt Hughes, I didn't laugh one bit. I sat there stunned. I had no idea how to react. Of course, I was live with you guys, and all I can do is sit there and just stare at the camera pretty much. And no, I was just staring at my TV, waiting to see what John Annick's reaction was going to be to that joke. John Annick just, kept the smile he already had on. He didn't smile at that. Just kept the same smile on, kept the energy, like John Annick gets paid to do. He's a professional. But he didn't know what the fuck to say to that either. He just changed the subject. Yeah, I'm cool with trash talk. What was cool was that Matt Hughes tweeted, said, I get it. It's trash talk. I'm not saying anyone should burn Kobe's house down for it. At the end of the day, it is trash talk. he doesn't hate Matt Hughes or want Matt Hughes to get hit by a train at the same time. You don't make that joke, bro, at all. I wasn't cool with that shit. I'm not gonna write a letter about it to Kobe Covington. But oh fuck, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and we're gonna get to these fights. Cause we're 10 seconds in and that man almost got knocked the fuck out. Holy shit. Johnson on top, Muniz on bottom, and Johnson is raining down some vicious ground and pound from full mount. I'm sorry, out of the full guard of Muniz. Muniz tries to go for an arm bar. Johnson just slams him off. His arm is in there again, though, elbow deep. You don't want to be that deep. This fight at 185 started really fucking fast. Oh, man. And now Muniz is on the back of Johnson. Johnson fucked up. He was landing really nice ground and pound. But he was leaving his arms there really sloppily. Just leaving them hanging after those punches, which he's following through. It makes sense. You're trying to hurt the guy. But left him too deep. Muniz able to wrap his leg around above the elbow and threaten a submission. So Johnson tries to spin around to get that torque off of his elbow. But Muniz just being the superior grappler and winds up in a dominant position. Good on Muniz. Oh, and he gets the rear naked. That did not look deep. That did not look deep. I have to see that replay. Holy shit. That's a contract. Someone get that man a contract. Tago Santos didn't come and escort his teammate for no reason. They came for a motherfucking contract. Holy shit. Both of those guys are ox, man. Muniz lands, clips Johnson. Johnson reacts with a double leg, slams Muniz through the fucking cage. Oh. Lands some nice ground and pound, leaves his arm too deep, wind up in a really bad position, and Muniz takes the back. What a good showing. First round finish from Muniz. That's good shit. That tight had to be, that choke, I should say, had to be really tight for him to tap that quick. God damn. Congratulations to Muniz, man. Wondering what's next for Jorge Masvidal. Probably not a title shot. Probably not a title shot, man. He needed Kobe Covington, even though Kobe's his best friend or whatever, training partner, etc. They are boys. They're legitimate friends. Masvidal, of course, is not the type of guy to wish on his boy's downfall. But what he needed was for Kobe Covington to lose or to at least look really, really boring. Or at least not win in dominant fashion. Or at least win a split decision, a close fight. He needed some type of question mark or asterisk next to Kobe Covington's title shot potential. He did not get that. Kobe Covington wiped all that shit off. Kobe Covington made sure everyone knew that there was only one contender, a number one contender, I should say, for the welterweight strap, and his name is Kobe Covington. Yeah, Kobe Covington gets the title shot 100%. Dana White had already said it beforehand. If he won, he can. We've seen him, Dana White, do whatever the fuck he wants, to be fair. But, yeah, I mean, Kobe Usman, they have a beef. You can market it That fight gets made. I'm pretty confident, barring any unforeseen circumstances, injury or something like that. So that leaves Jorge Masvidal to either sit on the fence or fight someone at to fight a top five guy, and call that the next contender fight. Leon Edwards is the obvious choice, man. Fans seem to want to see it. You guys just brought it up. uh, it has a story. Leon Edwards came talking some shit. Masvidal hit him with the 3-piece and a soda, put it on a t-shirt, and pretty much used that to shoot up to further stardom. Jorge Masvidal did after a impressive win over Darren Till. I think he waits, to be honest with you. I think Masvidal says, word, my boy's about to get a title shot in November. I'm going to get my title shot, whether that's against my boy or against the guy that just beat my boy in, let's say, March, April, probably March. Can fill a nice card there. And that's about it. Put him on a card against the winner of Usman Kobe Covington. Beyond that, I don't see any upside. I don't see George taking that Leon fight. If he takes that Leon fight, then everybody make sure they understand Dana White just paid him to do so. Paid him a nice amount to do so because he has no reason to. We can say as fans that there's a reason to because it's exciting. You punch him in his face, blah, 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 blah. For Jorge Masvidal, who's only worried about getting that belt so he can have more money to put towards his family, his kids, and his future, and their future, what does a Leon Edwards fight do for him? He's more well-known than Leon Edwards. He's more marketable than Leon Edwards. And he has the more memorable finishes. I'm impressed with Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards proves people wrong, including me, plenty of times, almost every single time he goes out there now. A lot of people, including me, always say, oh, well, he's definitely not beating that guy. Or he beat that guy, but definitely not beating this guy. I wasn't sure how he was going to look against Nelson. I wasn't sure how he was going to look against RDA, and he shut me the fuck up both times, as well as anyone else doubting him. He's still not as marketable and all those other things that I said as Jorge Masvidal, and that's what runs the UFC. Let's be honest with ourselves. Dana White's looking for money. You could market Leon Edwards versus Jorge. Jorge doesn't give a fuck about that. He's like, yeah, you can also market me me for the belt. Dana White doesn't have a good argument to that other than I'm Dana White. Dana White may use that and get him in there with Leon, but again, it's going to take some money too. Jorge still is not the type to do something he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to fight Leon Edwards for no reason. So unless they back up the Brinks truck and pay that man, that's not going to happen. What I want to see for Jorge is for him, if he can afford it, to wait and fight the winner of Usman Kobe. I think either of those fights would be exciting. So yeah, not sure what's next for Jorge. I'm hoping that he sits out. I think it's likely that he sits out. If not, Leon Edwards is the only guy you can put him against. Who else? Not only for their beef either. They're just the two top contenders. Unless there is the Conor McGregor discussion about Jorge. Alexa, off. My echo here is Conor McGregor, and she's like, oh, I know Conor. You want to hear some Conor stuff? Was I talking to you? And then they were talking about Conor didn't like Jorge, Dana saying Jorge was bigger than him, et cetera, et cetera. I'd watch that fight. That'd be cool. Make it a catch weight 165 or fuck it, do 170. Jorge's not the biggest welterweight in the world. He's a big 155er. So yeah, I'd watch that fight. Jorge would definitely come back for that. Or if you want to put him against the winner of Pettis versus Diaz, who wouldn't want to watch Masvidal versus either of those guys? That'd be really good to watch. A really fun matchup too. I think Jorge would take that. I think either one of those fights would be exciting and the type of fight that Jorge would enjoy, and also could again demand some more money for, especially if it's Diaz Masvidal. Whoo, I'd watch the fuck out of that. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, pretty sure there's some connection there. But no, matter of fact, Jorge was scheduled to fight Nick, so I don't see why he wouldn't fight Nate. So that's what I would think. If George doesn't get the title shot, him versus Connor, him versus the winner of Diaz Pettis. I really don't see him accepting that Leon fight. Yeah, Connor Jorge probably, well, not probably, the least likely. Um, Dana White doesn't want to put Conor McGregor in the 170-pound weight class. It just doesn't make sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Connor is definitely the least likely. I think the most likely, uh, if Dana White gets his way, is the Leon Edwards fight. If Jorge gets his way, the most likely beyond the Connor fight is the winner of Diaz Pettis. Again, would anybody not want to see that? Oh, that's hilarious. The George Connor buildup would be some shit to watch. I honestly think it's going to surprise a lot of people. Jorge Connor buildup, I don't think would be a lot of shit talking. I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be as volatile as it was with Diaz. Even though Diaz tried to at least play it more cool, he had already said that, cut that whole promo after beating Michael Johnson about how Connor took everything that he helped build, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and created a beef before the fight was even scheduled to happen. Jorge said straight up, "Hey, yo, Connor, I respect you. I'm trying to fight you because of that. Let's make some money together." Uh, you saw Jorge Masvidal when he fought Darren Till, who's a guy that likes to talk a lot of shit. He kept it real calm and calmed Darren Till down as well. Darren Till didn't talk a bunch of shit either. They sat face to face in an interview with Dan Hardy, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think it was Dan Hardy that did the interview. And sat right across from each other and was like, "We don't got to talk shit. We know we're both coming to take each other's life. We know we both coming to take each other's paycheck, et cetera, et cetera." They respected each other, and you saw what Jorge did. He doesn't need to be angry to go in there and go for a knockout, even though you see what happens when he is angry, as he did with Ben Askren, right? And I really think Connor would show more respect for Jorge as well. Say, he comes there to fight, he comes here to market, etc. I think they would both respect each other, what they do in the game. I think it wouldn't be as crazy as a build-up, unless Connor, for some reason, well, now I'm not going to say for some reason, he doesn't need a huge excuse, finds an excuse to create some type of drama. But on Jorge's side, I honestly think he's going to be calm as a cucumber the whole time, unless Connor turns it into something else. Guys, we are already at the third fight of the night, and it is our only 9 o'clock. What more can we ask for on a Tuesday night? I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are too. If this is your first time joining me, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It helps immensely. You guys have no idea. Also, do not forget about our contest. Get 5 people to subscribe to either my Twitch or my YouTube at Mike Jesse MMA. Then inbox me or write a comment and at you say, "Hey, my friend so-and-so had me subscribe to your channel," and I will add you to the list to get $100 worth of free official UFC gear. Yes, $100 of free and official UFC merchandise straight from UFC.com. I will even have it shipped directly to you for your convenience. Again, 5 people to subscribe. Tell me some way, somehow, whether it's on my comments or via inbox, that they followed because of you. And I will enter you to win $100 of free and official UFC merchandise. I will announce that winner August 17th at the Stipe DC Pettis Diaz card. If for any reason I do not have anybody who has gotten 5 people to subscribe and let me know that they subscribed, then we will push the contest out until beginning of September for the Khabib Dustin Poirier card. Oh, this is Gilbert Burns' little brother. Yeah, man. I don't do Twitch for video game streaming. At least not yet. Right now, I'm only doing the concentrating on this channel. So it's this same channel, this stream right now. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All right, guys, here we go. Burns instantly getting that Muay Thai clinch, landing some nice knees. Oh, Minner with some really nice strikes moving backwards. Burns pulling guard. Gotta be really confident in your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to just pull guard in Dana White Contender Series first round. Thanks, man. I appreciate that support, bro. Really do. All right, we have Minner on the back of Burns now. He has one hook in. There we go. Minner stands up. Doesn't want to keep exerting unnecessary energy, trying to stay around his back. Trying to scoop Burns now. Not able to. Oh, Minner landing some nice shots, though. What is Burns doing? Can't just keep eating those. Minner shoots. Gilbert tries to go for a guillotine, unable to get the choke in. Holy shit. Oh, Minner just missed that elbow. Burns doesn't want to eat one of those, man. That was coming rough. Nice elbow from Minner. Burns, I should say, trying to create a scramble. Unable to, though. Minner goes for a guillotine. Unable to get it, but does still have top position. Needs to be careful. Burns going for the triangle. Clamped it up. That is deep. And it makes him tap. Holy shit. Minner should not have played that game. Burns clearly confident in his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Minner playing right there in his guard. You saw Burns really active, open guard the whole time. Going for submissions, going for scrambles. Creating motion, movement the whole time. Minner tries to pass, leaves his arm in there. Just enough for Burns to get that and secure that triangle. That is some lights out jiu-jitsu right there, guys. Holy fuck. Minner was looking good early, too. That's got to be disheartening, man. And I get it. You feel a guy's strength, and you're like, okay, I can do this. Yeah, he's known for, maybe he's really good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I'm strong enough and slick enough and good, I train this too. get a little high on yourself, and you make a small mistake. But Gilbert, if you're pulling guard in the first, not Gilbert, Burns, little Burns, if he's pulling guard in 30 seconds, that's obviously where he wants to be. You don't want to sit there and play in his full guard like that. Good win from Burns. It's a really good win. Definitely got to give that man a contract. That would be some shit. I didn't know Gilbert Burns fought this Saturday. That's a scary family, man. Don't fuck with them. Probably explains why his brother's not there. Let's listen to what Burns has to say. I was pretty much just saying, like, my jujitsu's on another level. And I believe him. Burns looking like he's been here. He's not overly excited. He's not out of breath. He's like, yeah, went in there, whip some ass, sign me so I can whip some more ass. I'm with it, man. And guys, they are booking these kids really quick coming out Dana White Contender Series. Just last week, one of the heavyweights that won, Dana said, I have a fight for you in August. Another one of the guys that I think won week 2 or week 3, he's scheduled to fight on the Abu Dhabi card in September. He's not wasting any time, man. He's throwing you to the Sharks early. Dana White Contender Series alumni Kennedy, who opened up the main card last week, uh, wound up winning, but it was after Darko got 2 points taken away for low blows. It was crazy because the ref was talking about, he was asking if in New Jersey he was supposed to give another point or if he was supposed to DQ him or what he was supposed to do. He didn't even know because of how all these states don't have unified goddamn rules yet in 2019. It was really weird to see. Kennedy, you never know how much you're affected uh, after getting hit in the groin multiple fucking times. So who knew? Maybe that's not why he didn't look on his A game, which would be fair. But he did come out with a win. Scott Holtzman against Dong Ho Ma. That was a really exciting fight. I knew that one was going to end in a finish, and it did. Scott Holtzman looked fantastic with that win. He pretty much said he wants to see higher end talent now um, a top 20 opponent in the lightweight division. I think he gets it. He did look really good that fight. We saw Gerald Mearshit get a really nice sub in the third round against Trevin Giles. I did get that one wrong. I had Trevin Giles winning that. Apologies to Gerald. Nasrat against Joaquim Silva. That fight was fucking nuts, man. I am never picking against that Nasrat kid again. He looked like a fucking killer in there. It's crazy. I thought Silva was going to look to be the stronger fighter. I thought he was going to be the cleaner striker and impose his will on Nasrat, and that was literally the opposite of what happened in that fight. Nasrat was just too strong, too polished. Young kid, but he looked fucking fantastic in the octagon. He's trained by TriStar. Which, did you guys hear Woodley talking about he's going to be doing some training in TriStar now? That's going to be wild. Kevin Lee already announcing he's moving up there. Woo! TriStar against the world. That's going to be a hell of a camp. I know Kevin Lee's making the move official, but Woodley's still, staying in his with his team. But him learning from Faraz and GSP, that's going to be really cool to see. And you already see Nasrat, a young guy, learning from the best, already looking like a young champion in his own right. I can't wait to see him against higher level opposition in the lightweight division. Jim Miller and Clay Guida, for about 30 seconds, went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I thought they would both respect each other's wrestling and jiu-jitsu and just fucking throw nothing but rockets at each other. They did. That's exactly what happened. Jim Miller gets clipped early from Clay Guida. Clay Guida then tries to go in for the kill, and Jim Miller clips Clay Guida. Clay Guida goes into cruise control, doesn't have all his wits about him, and shoots in for a double leg. Not the cleanest double leg against Jim fucking Miller, who has lights out Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you go in for takedown and you don't have all your faculties working how they're supposed to, you get choked unconscious, and that's what happened. Jim Miller put Clay Guida the fuck out with that choke. Was a little weird that who was the ref? Herb Dean kept watching people get choked unconscious, and didn't stop the fight immediately. He's like shaking a guy's hand 10 times, like, are you sure you're asleep, though? That was a little odd. Herb Dean has had better nights, but I don't like to beat up on Herb Dean too much because he is still a really great referee. But yeah, great win for Jim Miller. A setback for Clay Guida, but again, no one's expecting, at least in my opinion, no one's expecting Clay Guida to go on a surprise title run. Same for Jim Miller, so I think, they're both exactly where they were. They had a good fight. Everyone got excited. Everyone will be excited to see their next fight, and that's the type of career that these guys have. I'll always watch a Jim Miller fight, always watch a Clay Guida fight, and that one was fucking lights out for the 40-something seconds 57 seconds that it lasted. Did not think that fight was going to end via submission, but when it happens like that, kind of like when Marlon Moraes choked out Ricardo Lamas, it was after he had already knocked him out. Not Ricardo Lamas. God damn it. That's going to bother me all night, guys, that I can't remember who that was. I'm going to go check that out. Give me 2 seconds. Because that is going to bother me all night. Burns had a really quick triangle choke victory, but it was a really exciting fight. Only lasted about 2 minutes, but it was a hell of a 2 minutes. Nah, man, no questions are out of the blue, man. That's what the fuck we're here for. Talk about all this shit. Adesanya versus Whitaker. Whoo, man, I am so fucking excited about that. Before Adesanya fought Gastelum, I was 100% sure that you had to be an equally long striker to successfully land on Adesanya. And I think it's actually the opposite. I think Adesanya does really well against large opponents, like he did against Anderson Silva, Derek Brunson, um, versus how he looked against Gaslam, the stockier guy. Gaslam was able to land on Adesanya like we haven't seen anyone land on Adesanya. I think Robert Whitaker is a similar size and stature to Gaslam and a higher level striker by a couple, couple levels over Gaslam when it comes to striking. I think it's going to be mostly an affair that happens on the feet. I think Robert Whitaker will try to mix in some takedowns just because he's a champion and you're supposed to be well rounded. Wouldn't be surprised if Israel comes out with some crazy takedown attempts as well. But again, I think it's largely going to be a kickboxing match. A Muay Thai match. I don't know who wins. I think it's going to be super close, just like Gaslam, Israel Adesanya was. Even though Robert is the better fighter of Gaslam, Robert Whitaker, I think Israel Adesanya is better every time we see him. He has a few months in between this camp and the last for once. I think we're going to see a healthy Israel. I think we're going to see a ready and a more skilled and talented Israel Adesanya. If I have to say who is going to win, I'm going to say Robert Whitaker. I think the champ keeps his belt. But that's now. I may change my pick before that fight comes. Here we go, guys. We are at the fourth fight of the night. The co-main event is not even 9:30. Come on now. We are spoiled. Santos in the gray. Rhea's in the blue. Nice cross from Rhea. See, Rhea clearly has the length advantage. Both girls really fast. Nice knees to the body from Rhea. Rhea, the way she stands, she's waiting for Santos to jab. Rhea wants to roll her shoulder up to use that to block. And I wonder if she's planning to throw something right after. Of course, I won't know until she's not in that stance anymore. But she turns her body a little bit more sideways, and you can tell how she's holding her shoulder as she's just waiting to roll something off that shoulder and counter behind it really quickly. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Her cross is landing regularly, though. She's a really nice cross. Good kick to the body from Santos. Head kick attempt from Rhea. Oh, Santos lands a head kick. Nice. Rhea trying to work an outside trip. Gets it, but Santos winds up on her back. Now in mount. Ooh. Only lands one strike, Santos does, but that was a hellacious strike from full mount. Rhea able to swing her off and winds up in full guard. Gets up, trying to land, but doesn't want to make the same mistake that we saw earlier and leave a limb in there too long. She sees that wrist, backs up, allows Santos to stand. Probably the smarter move. Santos looked like she was in her element on the ground. Nice knees from both ladies. A cross off the breakup from Santos. Lands nicely. You can tell Rhea wasn't expecting that. That caught her off guard. Oh, head kick from Santos. Both girls throwing. Knee from Santos. Another knee. Woo! Rhea doesn't want to eat those. Body kick from Santos. But she gets off balance. Rhea rounds up on top. Couple good hammer fists. Santos open guard, looking for submissions, trying to grab a limb. That's what you want to see from someone on the bottom. Going for the armbar, that's tight. Rhea defending well. Her elbow's out, but she needs to be careful. Because if Santos is able to slide back on that and bring that elbow back up through her legs, she's in trouble. Yep. Santos is trying to scoot down. Rhea literally pulling her leg the other way, though. Santos needs to be careful not to kick Rhea in the face. Oh, Santos twisting that arm. Rhea lands a strike after the bell, but totally unintentional. That was a good round. Yeah, man, Herb Dean said y'all want to complain about me stopping that Robbie Lawler Askren fight too soon. Robbie wasn't asleep. All right, I'm gonna show y'all sleep. I'm gonna show you how I let these fighters take a nap in there. Yeah, it was literally the exact contrast of what everyone was complaining about Herb Dean stopping fights too soon. Now he said I'm gonna let him go a few seconds too far. Either way, no one's dying in the octagon from a blood choke. Yeah, if we're talking about fandom, my fandom for Adesanya is through the roof, man. I love everything about what he's doing, everything about what he's bringing to the UFC. I want to see Israel Adesanya as the 185-pound champ. I could definitely see him winning. It's going to be a super close fight, guys. Like, no matter who I wind up picking, no matter who anybody picks, no matter who the odds makers have as the favorite, it's impossible to know who's going to win that fight. Whew. Israel's going to come with some new tricks, man. That's what I'm excited for. I want to see what he does that surprises Robert, because there's definitely, I know, going to be some element. And it's really about how Robert reacts to that, which he has the composure of a champion. So we'll see. Hard for him to find an opponent to train for, similar to Adesanya's size and style. Not so much hard, not as hard, I should say, for Adesanya to find training partners to mimic Robert Whittaker. That might play a big story in that fight. You might see Adesanya a lot more prepared for Robert than Robert is for Israel. These girls are coming out throwing, man. Landing nice shots. Santos on her back again, though, just from being off balance. And then Rhea, of course, hesitant to jump in that guard. She's not dumb. Oh, Rhea almost lands a nice knee. Santos catches the kick. Lands a couple strikes off that. Oh, nice right. Another one. That right hook is landing regularly for Santos. These girls are just fucking swinging. Let's go. That right hook from Santos is fucking hitting hard, man. Damn. Wow. Rhea with a nice takedown. Just using a body lock. 2 underhooks. Santos has a really nice guard. She's against the cage. It's going to be really hard to finish this armbar attempt. But if it creates a scramble, then, I mean, it's a win-win for her. She needs to get those hands unlocked of Rhea's. Oh. Here's where she wants to be. Oh, Rhea uses the cage to walk back up. Rhea kind of used her foot underneath the chin of Santos to push off. Not sure if... I've never seen that done. I feel like you can't kick while you're both on the ground. She didn't fully kick her, but she definitely pushed her head back with her foot. I don't really know what the fuck else to call it. Both girls out. Santos let Rhea get into her guard. I mean, Santos has a good guard, but she doesn't seem to have like a lot of angst to get up right now. Not sure if she's tired or she's just like, okay, I'm 100% okay with her being in my guard. When she keeps going for submissions, but Rhea doing well, getting out of them. Again, Santos just staying on her back, not getting up. Rhea now in half guard, just laying on top of Santos. Santos with her feet against Rhea's hips, but not using that to get up. Santos must be extremely exhausted because she is not even attempting to get up. Oh, he ate some elbows. Both girls are exhausted as fuck. But one of them's going to have to dig deep. Really good fight so far, but the end of that second round, just not a lot of action from either girls. Rhea is showing a lot of heart, though. I'll give you that. Not that Santos isn't. But you can tell they're both tired. But Rhea has that extra drive just to get up, to go into the guard, to keep trying to advance. Yeah, Valentina's sister, uh, Antonina Shevchenko, she looked really good. When she lost her debut, I thought, okay, she's just Shevchenko's sister. She's not gonna, be anything. She looked really good in the second fight, though. You pretty much said it, man. She was losing early and pulled through. She looked like she had a much more well-rounded game than I expected her to have. Thought she was going to be, one-trick pony. She looked good. She looked good. It's going to be interesting to see her against higher opposition. But just because her last name is the same as the champ doesn't mean that we should throw her to the wolves. For a second fight in the UFC, her win was really good. It really was. She should 100% be happy for herself. Oh! Left hook from Santos. I think that might have rocked Rhea a bit. Santos smells blood. She's throwing hard. Rhea backing up. That right hook again from Santos. Has Rhea busted up now. Santos hits really fucking hard. Rhea is tough as nails. Rhea trying to throw but does not have anything left in the tank. She can throw, but afterwards you see her whole body language. She's just all heart and grit right now. Able to catch one of Santos' kick. Gets her down, but Santos rolls through it. Able to get right back up. Guys, if you hear anything in the background, for some reason, there are fireworks going off in my neighborhood. I don't know. So apologies if you guys hear any interference. Literally nothing I can do about it. Santos going for the takedown. Rhea's knees, both her knees, black and blue. Is that her from her being on top and controlling? That doesn't look good. Santos in half guard. Rhea with a guillotine. Hard to finish out of half guard. Impossible to finish out of mount. So right now she's pretty much just wasting her arm energy. Santos will get out of this. As long as Santos stays calm, eventually Rhea has to let go of this choke. Rhea trying to use that to create a sweep. But Santos, as far as I could tell, her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is way too good for that. Rhea still just holding that grip. I think she's hoping for for the ref to stand it up, which would be ridiculous to happen while Santos has mount. Santos is able to pop her head out. Rhea against the cage, so she's trying to cage walk her way out of this position. You see her trying to walk the cage now to create a scramble. Wow, she does. Santos has that armbar. She's going for it. After Rhea gassing her arms out, does she have enough energy to defend this armbar attempt? Oh, Rhea almost knees Santos in the face on the ground. The ref tells Rhea to watch the knees to the spine. Rhea, at the very least, making sure that she didn't take as much damage as she could have after winding up in that position, finding herself in mount. I mean, the last 30 seconds, uneventful, but that's not for a lack of trying. Santos is trying to get that finish with that armbar, and Rhea is just trying to get up, trying to get out actively. This is a good fight. Whoever wins deserves a contract, in my opinion. I don't know who won that fight, guys. I don't know who won this one, guys. I would give it to Santos just because I think she did the most damage. But Rhea might have won round one and two. I don't know. Here we go with the decision. Split decision. Oh, and Rhea got it. Sheesh. Santos definitely Santos definitely did the most damage in that fight. Wow, that is a really surprising. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Yeah, man. Yeah, Santos 100% did the most damage in that fight. I don't know about that one. But, you know, at the same time, it wasn't a huge robbery. Rhea did control a lot of that second round. Even though Santos landed the bigger shots. Let's hear what she has to say. She's obviously really tired. That was a really high octane fight. Good fight from both girls, I will say that. But if you ask me who I want to see in the octagon again, it's Santos. She landed some really hard shots. Yeah, I wish they would have the stats more readily available for us, like they do. If you guys ever check out any of my UFC pay per view or fight night card live streams, they always have right on the sides. I have the live stats for the UFC fights, Those are always really cool to watch during a fight and go to after for moments like this where we're like, what the fuck were they looking at? Maybe, which we've seen before. Maybe she's landing more shots than we think she is, Rhea was. But yeah, I also wish we could see the stats, man. That was wild. August 27th will be the last Dana White Contender Series, man. What are we going to do on Tuesday nights after that? Yeah, fuck seasons, man. Take a month off and come right back. Yeah, I agree with Dominic Cruz. I think Burns and Muniz both get contracts. I think Rhea, I don't know. I think if Santos would have won, she would have got a contract. I don't know about Rhea. Maybe, though. Maybe. Guys, I'm just switching real quick so we can look. Speaking of stats, I wanted to get into the stats of Kobe Covington versus Robbie Lawler for a second, if you don't mind. All right, guys, look at this shit. 198 out of 540 strikes landed for Kobe Covington. 540 strikes thrown. That's insane. To average over 100 strikes thrown per round, who the fuck in the welterweight division is doing that, man? Most flyweights aren't keeping that pace. Scratch that. No flyweights keeping that pace because he set a goddamn record. And Kobe, we talk about him not throwing much. He threw 173 punches, landed 81 of them. What he didn't do is throw a lot of power punches, though. Says he landed 77 significant strikes. If you guys have seen any of my reactions on Tuesdays to these stats, these fights, etc., it's questionable what they call a significant strike sometimes. A strong jab isn't a significant strike. It's a good strike. It's a very good strike. It's an effective strike. Significant strikes are things that are doing damage. I don't think we can call many of Robbie's strikes. Definitely not 77 out of 81 of the ones he landed as significant. I think that's a little bit absurd. 10 takedowns landed for Kobe Chaos Covington, man. 10 fucking takedowns. I would love to see what the record for takedowns is, by the way. And 1 for 18. It's, guys, anybody who's wrestled on any level, I don't care if you were 3 years old, 4 years old, whenever the fuck you start wrestling, or did it in high school or college or at any fucking level, going for a takedown and not getting that takedown is, one, demoralizing, and two, way more exhausting than actually finishing a takedown. Finishing a takedown definitely takes a lot out of you. It's tiring as hell in its own right. But not getting that takedown means you put a lot of effort out, and that person then threw their effort against it, and their effort wound up winning. And you maybe even put a little bit more into it to fight through that, and still wind up failing in your attempt. It's not an easy thing to do, to continuously miss on takedowns and keep throwing them and have that energy to keep it up. He didn't care. In the beginning, he couldn't not finish a takedown. And then towards the end of the fight, he used most of those takedowns just to make Robbie know, hey, don't get comfortable here. Don't think we're having a stand-up war. We're not. We're having a fucking MMA fight. And anytime Robbie got comfortable, go back and look at that fight. I did, right before we started here tonight, just to get another look at what happened. Of course, I'm going to want to watching that fight probably 3 more times before Kobe fights again. Fucking fantastic fight. Uh, I say that to say he was making sure that every time Robbie would get comfortable, if you can call it comfortable, getting that many punches in your face, and Robbie would try to throw 1, 2, or maybe 3 punches. As soon as Robbie threw more than 1 or 2 punches at a time, Kobe went for a takedown, pushed him against the cage, did some dirty boxing, made sure that he felt every bit of what he was doing. Every single time Robbie looked like he wanted to do something or get comfortable, Kobe made sure that he thought twice about it. Remarkable performance from Kobe Chaos Covington, man. 9 passes from Kobe, so he was actively trying to get better position. It would have been more than 9, but he didn't need to sometimes. He was just on the back of Robbie Lawler a lot of the time, working that rear naked choke. When he couldn't get the rear naked choke, what did he do? He didn't keep trying to fight for under the chin and wasting his own energy. No. He put that arm over the face of Robbie and worked a neck crank, squeezing his face, twerking his neck, making him uncomfortable. Made sure he was never comfortable. You see the theme in that? When he's on the feet, continuously throwing, and Robbie looks like he's getting comfortable, ready to throw, take him down, create grappling exchanges. When you have his back and he's like, okay, I can fight hands enough to make sure you don't get under my chin. Okay, fine, I'm going to make it uncomfortable for you to just sit here. I'm going to make sure you feel what I'm doing. Fantastic game plan. Lands 120 shots to the head, 20 to the body, 32 to the legs. Missing it up very well. Just overall dominance from Kobe everywhere. This says no ground strikes. I'm going to have to watch this fight again. Did great work in the clinch. If you guys watch my prediction video, I said that Robbie Lawler was going to come with a ferocity that Kobe Covington hadn't come against before. And it was the opposite. Kobe instead had that will just put on Robbie for 5 rounds. I've never seen that before. Never seen that before. Usually Robbie can come back in that 5th round, 3rd round, 4th round, some round, and say, I'm not taking this shit anymore. Unless he's severely injured like he was against RDA. And just go for broke. He could not find that gear because Kobe had driven that shit 3 gears above that already. And it was just demoralizing. It was tiring on Robbie, on his will, on his body, on his cardio. There's nothing he could do about it, man. Literally nothing. All right, guys, here we go. Main event. Again, thank you guys for all being with me. If it's your first time, subscribe. Give the videos a thumbs up. Next time I'll be live will be 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday for UFC Uruguay. Valentina Shevchenko versus Liz the Gorilla Carmouche. Morales in the blue, Park in the gray. Wish I saw their how tall these guys are. They look pretty good for look pretty big for lightweights. Nice knee from Morales. Park with Morales backed up against the cage. Both guys trading knees. Park lands a low blow. Unfortunate. Action back. Oh, Morales lands a couple nice shots with Park coming in. Guys, I'm hoping everybody can still see me. My chat is down. So I, using a little bit of ingenuity, simply going to read my phone. Can't stop, won't stop, guys. The train keeps rolling. Four lungs at least, man. Nice leg kick from Morales. Park stalking Morales. Morales doing the right things as well to keep Park from stalking him like that. Hitting Park with nice shots as he comes in. Doing good fighting for underhooks and making sure Park can't get those takedowns. But Park still just like a zombie coming forward. Yeah, Khabib T-Bow is a perfect comparison to that fight. Is that another low blow? Morales comes right back out. Park still stalking him. Morales lands a couple nice uppercuts after missing that head kick. Nice knee to the body from Park. Another nice knee from Park. Spinning back elbow from Morales. I think he just misses. Morales, I should say. Sorry about that. Yeah, Park coming in throwing, but always eats a few. Trying to make it in there. Guys, if you are watching on Twitch or Facebook, my chat feature is down. I apologize. I will get to any of your questions or comments this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, UFC Uruguay. I will make sure to document anything you guys are saying on Twitch and or Facebook and make sure I get to that and talk to you guys about that when you join me on Saturday. On YouTube, again, I am using my phone. I still see you. We are still out here together. Do not worry. The train rocks on. And do not forget to join me this Saturday, UFC Uruguay, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are some nice fights on that card. I have a prediction video coming out this week. Keep an eye out. Subscribe so that you do not miss that. Like everything I do, it will be live and you will be there with me. Let's talk. Who you got? I'll announce on my Instagram later this week when I'll be dropping that. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mike Jesse MMA.